Hello. It's Wednesday. It's the Women Wise podcast. How are you doing, Janine?
I am doing fabulous. I just cannot believe how the time is flying. Again, a week's gone past and it's just crazy.
I
How you
know.
been,
Time is
Sara?
definitely speeding. Well, yep. Time is speeding up, getting busier and busier, meeting even more amazing people. And this is can't believe it's November. Like, how do we get here?
I know, right? People are talking about what's happening for you in 2025. I'm like, whoa, can we just finish November maybe? But it's just crazy. But it means there's movement, right? So I'm quite excited for our podcast today. We have the pleasure of welcoming an amazing Kim Weston, who is a dedicated fitness coach who empowers women to really live their life to the absolute fullest. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here and give as much information today as I can possible, and hopefully inspire some women and give them maybe that missing piece that they've been waiting to hear. I hope this today impacts a lot of people. So yeah, I'm excited.
Well, we're definitely extremely excited to have you on because, we're all about women empowerment and women supporting women. And I think, health and fitness is so important. And I think for a lot of busy women in particular, their health and fitness, maybe especially fitness, and I'm guilty of that, probably falls off the wagon. When everything else is piling on, that seems to be the thing that drops off. But tell us a bit about yourself and how you got here.
So I have always been into sports as a child. I was always like the tomboy of the group. I was always like a sporty kid. And I used to do a lot of dance in school and college. And then from dance, I just started going to the gym and I started loving it. And oh my God, I'm so sorry about this. My cat has been a nightmare. And I hope he stays
your cat's running a disco.
Anyway, sorry, back to business. So then I started in the gym at the age of 17, and honestly, I just got addicted. And at the age of 18, I thought, why am I not doing this as a job? Why am I not helping other people do what I do? People don't have any idea. And I was the same. I had no idea, but I learned. So I wanted to then transfer them skills, transfer all the information that I knew. So I've now been in fitness since 2018. So what's that, 6 years, coming up to 7, and absolutely love it. I've always worked with women, predominantly mums, and the business has kind of just grown from being a self-employed personal trainer in a gym on like minimum hours to then working for somebody, moving to Dubai, starting an online business, working for brands all across the UK. God, there's been loads that's been going on, but it's been a journey and I love it so much. And it is honestly one of the most rewarding jobs I could ever think of.
I just love your energy. And I think there's so much that you can share with us. And it must have been quite a challenge, I'm assuming, because you're from UK, right?
Yes.
And was it quite a challenge from there to here? I mean, it's quite a different city, right?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, like when I was in the UK, I was very well known within my area for fitness. I used to get a lot of clients, a lot of interest. My diary was always booked out. From when I moved to Dubai, it was like nobody knew me. It was like, oh my God, I'm starting at the bottom all over again. And I built sort of an online base before moving, which is what allowed me to move to the UAE. But honestly, like I was very much at the bottom of the chain again. And it was all about like really building myself up from scratch. And it did come quite quickly because of the connections I had and the classes that I was doing and the location I was working in. But yeah, gosh, it was a very big eye opener. That's for sure.
I think that's probably quite a common situation. A lot of women, not just women, men as well, but anyone who's self-employed. I think, you arrive here and you could have had years and years of experience, and as you said, being very well known, and you've got a great network, where you're coming from, and you arrive and you're like, oh my God, actually, you're almost starting from scratch. But obviously you've got all that expertise and you've got all that experience to kind of bring with you. But yeah, so what was your main sort of tactic then in terms of actually building up your profile here?
Great question. So I think originally, I mean, I've kind of got a bit of a social media presence. So when I started to post on social media that I was now in Dubai, does anyone want to train? It was kind of like a friend of a friend would recommend me. But then I actually went to a gym, which a lot of people may know. It's called TK MMA, which is in the Marina. And I was training there, and I was training day after day after day. And the owner's always in the gym. And he actually came up to me at one point and said, like, I'd really love you to start running women's booty boot camp classes. Yeah, so I started running them, and they just got busy so quick because the gym was already quite busy and well known, and a lot of influencers would come to the gym and X, Y, and Z. So when they finally seen that there was some booty classes on, I mean, women go crazy for that. So there was like influx of women, and that's kind of how I then grew from there. It was like I kind of got a bit of a presence from those classes, and it was just like one thing to another. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I have done everything from like social media content, reaching out to people, going to many networking events, and literally getting on stage and speaking at these events about what it is that I do, just going up to people at the events and trying to make a conversation, to let everybody know what I'm doing and, what I want to help them with. A lot of the networking events that I was at, it was literally just to promote free classes. I was doing free classes at one point, and I was just trying to get any woman on these free classes. It was free. It built a community. Who didn't want to come along and work out outdoors in the sunshine on the beach, So there was many things that I did. But yeah, it was literally starting at the bottom and working my way up.
Yeah.
And who's your target? I mean, I know you say women, but have you got what's your sort of ideal client then? Who's the person that when you get them on, you're like, yeah, come on, let's go.
So definitely mums. I mean, don't get me wrong, I work with all women. I tend to focus on busy women and mums, people that feel that they don't have time to put into this, to put into fitness, because there's always time. So I try to go with those people. I love to work with mums because I've always worked with mums. Being in my last gym in the UK, we used to have a kids playing area, and the mums would bring the kids so they could train whilst the kids were playing in the playing area. But the kids never played in the playing area. They would run over to me and they would like wrap their bodies around my legs and they'd jump up on me, and I'd have the kids in my arms whilst I'm training the mums. It was great. I loved it so much. Unfortunately, that's not an opportunity here, but I just see the drive that mums have and why they need to do this, and the passion. And I think there's a much bigger reason why mums should be involved in fitness and be healthy than there is for a single woman who's not got kids. And that doesn't mean say every woman shouldn't be healthy and fit, because they should, but mums have a much bigger reason because they have to now support and look after their child. And I think I could talk all day about it, honestly, but yeah, a mum would be the perfect ideal client.
So my question here would be, what are some of the unique challenges that the moms would be facing, especially when it comes to fitness and health?
Yeah, so I always get the same thing. They don't feel that there's enough time in the day. They don't really know where to start. They don't have gym membership. They don't have energy. There's many reasons. And I think like what women see as problems, there's always a solution to a problem, but they don't see what the solution is because they're not in this industry and they can't understand how to change their lifestyle to accommodate them still being able to do this. So it's really about me breaking down to them about why and how they can still do this. I mean, I have single women on programs of 1 hour workouts 4 times a week. That's not what my mums do. The mums are doing 20 to 30 minute workouts from the comfort of their own home or their apartment gym or their villa gym or, the community gym. and they're doing 20 to 30 minute workouts 3-4 days a week, walking with the pram, walking with the kids, going swimming with the kids, things that they can incorporate with their family. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. And I think that's what a lot of, I was going to say women, but humans feel that they have to do to be active, and you don't. There's so many solutions. It's just about finding the right solution for you as an individual, because not everyone has the same program, not everyone has the same lifestyle. So it's about really niching down and find what works for that person.
Yeah, definitely. I think, my ears are pricked up, definitely. And I think what's been quite interesting, obviously, it's the Dubai Fitness Challenge on at the moment.
Yeah.
So have you had, to me, that this is the first time, because I've actually had a bit of time, that I've thought, right, I'm going to do it. So in fairness, I've probably done an average of 30 minutes a day. I wouldn't say I've actually done 30 minutes a day, but if I don't do 30 minutes one day, I'll try and do an hour, the next day, etc.
That's good.
But it's been quite an interesting, because it's just getting started, isn't it? And it's just getting into doing something for 30 minutes every day. And you're like, come on, you definitely can get 30 minutes in.
Yes.
So do you find that this month in particular, this challenge has also brought an influx of women in?
I think, fitness is, I think a lot of people see it as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like seasonal almost, because people like to put the time in between January until about May. May time is holidays. People go away. They really start to slow down with their fitness. They come back from the holidays in about September. They go in hard again. Comes to like end of November, people are slowing down again because it's getting to the festive season. So, fitness for a lot of people is seasonal. Not that it should be, and I would never advise that. But, what I try to explain to my clients is, okay, when you've got the time, do 5 workouts a week if you really want to. When you've not got the time, that doesn't mean that you should completely not do anything. You could just go for a walk every day, just still something to move your body. Or you could go from doing 5 workouts a day to, not a day, God, wow, that would be a lot for even me. You could go from doing 5 workouts a week to doing 3 workouts a week or 2 workouts a week. Something just so that you're not falling out of routine. Because again, I think for us as humans, when you get out of that cycle, it's very easy to then stay in that place and not get back to your usual routine. So I'm a very realistic lifestyle coach. I don't grill anyone if they don't genuinely have the time. It's about balance. So it doesn't mean that you have to go in hard every single week. That's not reality. I don't even do that. But it's about at least doing something and know that you're moving your body, not just for your physical health, but for your mental health, especially as mums. They have more stresses than all of us. So why shouldn't they do something that is going to relieve that stress and just make them feel good?
I love that you emphasized on you don't have to have a gym membership. And I think that's the mindset most people have when they hear, personal trainer, gym, and equals the journey. And that's not true. And for myself, even I started going to the gym now, and I can see the difference in my energy, in the way my nails are growing. Even it's the weirdest thing, but it's true. It's very interesting how a small change can just be a big thing, actually. So it's all about small habits. So
it is.
One thing I want to ask you here is, most people say it takes 21 days for a habit. Is that the same with your routines? Is it shorter? Is it longer? What would you say?
A great question. I would say for me and my clients and what I've experienced from the feedback, just after 1 week, people feel 10 times better than they did before. And I think this is another thing. It's like you don't realize the benefits until you do it. And I suppose that's with anything in life, really, isn't it? Like you don't realize what it's going to bring to your life until you do it. And you're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. And I think that's a big thing that people are missing. It's like, it is a very difficult thing to start. I will hold my hands up and admit, like when I've had time over the summer of not exercising as much, and then I'm like trying to go all back in, it's like, oh my God, you can't be bothered, you feel in this like bit of a slump. Once you do it, it's like, oh my God, I realize how this feels to be like this again. And it is that feeling of like your energy's better, your mental health is better, you feel healthier. You don't leave the gym and think, oh my God, I just want to get a McDonald's. You leave the gym and you're like, I want to eat good. I've just spent all that time exercising, sweating, dying. I'm not going to put some bad stuff into my body now. You want to eat good. When you're feeling low, you're feeling sluggish and miserable, you sit at home and you want to get ice cream and chocolate on the couch. It's that thing of it's hard to bring yourself out of, but once you eventually get yourself out of that space, the benefits you feel. And I say this to everybody all the time, like, even if you're not doing this to lose 10 kg, you should be doing this for your mental health, because it makes you feel amazing. And you'll lose the weight anyway. Weight loss is, I always say to my clients, it's inevitable. It's easy when you start a program. I think that's the easiest part of the program for my clients, honestly, is weight loss. I think it just falls off like this. But it's the mentality and like the mindset changes. Those are the hardest things. Once you get that, you fly through. By the end of the program for my clients, they're like, Kim, you've done like such an amazing job. I don't need you anymore. I'm like, great. That is the news I needed. See you later. You're on your own. I'm joking.
Following week, they're on the couch eating ice cream.
No, God. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when they say that.
So part of your sort of, message is it's without the boring stuff. So what does that mean? Like, how do you make it so that it doesn't become boring and tedious?
I mean, it's about changing as well. Like it does, like when you do something that's too repetitive, it becomes boring. So like, and I don't slate any of the online coaches or personal trainers or anything out there. But for me personally, I would never put my client on a program that's more than 4 weeks, because I personally wouldn't do that. And I personally think that gets boring. A lot of coaches out there would give their clients programs that are the same program for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. That's just their training. But for me personally, I'm like 4 weeks maximum. You're doing that same program, then we're changing the whole program. We're changing the exercises, because you want your brain to constantly like be stimulated. You want to feel, excitement, and you want to feel motivated. So
it feels doable. For 4 weeks feels doable. 6 weeks, even just even saying it, I was like, I was thinking, I could do 4 weeks.
You do that.
6 weeks, you're like,
breaking it down in smaller steps.
Yeah,
it is, and I think this is a great way that I say it. But like for me, I always say it's one step at a time, baby steps. And I think it's a great way that I say it, because I work with mums. But you need to walk before you can run. Like, don't think of like all the outside noise. It's one step at a time. And, even within those 4 weeks, so it doesn't get too repetitive, I progress that program every week. So it might be increasing the weights, increasing the reps, or increasing the set. So you're still getting stronger and fitter every week. It's still a little bit different. But I think this works for a lot of women, because they feel confident to go in the following week because they know what they did last week. You're like, oh my God, okay, well, I feel a bit more confident to do it this week because I'm just doing the same as what I did last week. So I know what machines I'm going to. But going back to what you were saying about not being at the gym, like I honestly would say 80% of the mums that I have on board do home programs. They buy a dumbbell set from Amazon that turns into a barbell. So you connect it into a barbell, so you can use one or the other. It costs about £40, 200 dirhams. And their whole program is based on that one piece of equipment. So when women say to me they don't have time, 20, 30 minutes, your baby's sleeping, you've got time.
You've got time. I love that. And that's exactly the things that people don't know. They're not educated enough to say, I need someone just to guide me a little bit, and then they can go on their own and they can do what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
It's breaking it down into smaller habits. And as you say, 4 weeks, that's like easy. Come on. I think we should do a challenge. I think we should do a challenge for all our listeners to get with Kim and do a 4 week challenge with Kim.
Why not? Let's do a women-wise challenge.
I will set up a free little 30-day, 4-week. Well, 4 weeks is what, 28 days. So let's do a 28-day challenge. I'll set up a free little challenge that you can do from home. And yeah, absolutely, we'll do that. And you know, another reason I do it from home, just going back to that, is because women that aren't confident, when you have a baby, not that I have a baby, but I've never had a baby, but you know, I've worked with that with many women, I understand. But like a lot of women, once they've had a baby, their confidence just goes downhill. They lose all confidence. And it's daunting for them to then think, oh my God, I've got to go to a gym. So another reason I do home programs is because it builds their confidence up from home. After they're confident with the exercise that I've given, then they move into a gym at their own time, at their own pace. You know, and everybody's different. So yeah, I think that's a great way of doing it. So I hate I don't have time. You know, I hate it because I will find you time, even if it's the 15 minutes, I'll find it in your day.
Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Exactly. Oh, so powerful right there. Listen, I just want to do a shout out quickly to Caroline. She's from the Netherlands. She's watching live on Facebook, on Instagram, sorry. And we also have the Health Hub DXB who is listening to us here tonight. So thank you so much. A shout out to you guys. Kim, I've got a question for you as well in terms of motivating you. What is motivating you to keep going and re-looking at programs and changing things for people to keep it exciting? What motivates you?
That is a great, I don't think I've ever been asked that before. Do you know what? This is my passion. And, you know, I had a conversation actually with my mum, maybe I've got about 2 hours ago. She was like, you will never come out of fitness. She was like, you will never leave that job. Like, that is just your life now. And I've said this from day one. I've said, I don't think I could ever see my life not being involved in fitness, because it is, you know, even from being a child, being in all the school sports, this is something that I've loved forever. And even just myself, like, I would say I'm obsessed sometimes, but I have a very good life balance. So it's not like I'm in the gym, you know, 24 hours a day doing crazy stuff. But like, I just love it. And a big thing for me working in fitness is when my clients come to me and say, oh, I've lost this much, I feel great, I'm a new person, I've left my job because I'm going to start something self-employed, I never had the confidence before, and now I do. My relationship's back to being good again, you know, because they weren't feeling good before. I've had a baby, I couldn't get pregnant before. Like, there is so many stories I have. Like, even one girl, she had anorexia, she come out of that. And like, you know, I wasn't qualified to teach that at the time, but I just did my utmost best. I didn't realize she was suffering from that. Obviously, she didn't mention it. So I just did my utmost best to help her. And she's come out of that situation and told me what she was going through. And it's like, it's crazy, wow. You know. And my biggest story, I'll tell you this one story, is I had a 49-year-old woman come to me and say, I am at rock bottom at the moment. She was a great bubbly person, but her relationship wasn't doing good. She was working God knows how many hours. She had 4 kids. I think she had about 4 or 5 pets. And she just had this crazy lifestyle. But, you know, it wasn't where she wanted to be because she didn't feel great in herself. It was affecting her business deals. It was affecting her relationship. It was affecting her doing things with the kids. And we got on a program, and within 8 weeks, she had lost 11 kg.
Oh my God, sign me up. That's it.
That is amazing.
She turned around to me and she said, I am a complete new woman. She said, I'm wearing things I've not worn for 30 years. She said, the numbers on the scale, I've not seen them in 30 years. She said, I'm going on date nights with my husband. I feel amazing. She was like, people are complimenting me at work. She was like, I've got a new life. I'm almost 50 and I've got a complete new life. She said, my life hasn't felt this good in years. And for me, like, Oh, I was crying. You know, so it's just stories like that. That's like, you don't realize how much you're impacting someone's life, and like how much, I do realize how much it can change someone's life. But when you hear that, it's like, this just makes me want to keep going.
That's remarkable. That is an amazing story because, you know, I'm older than that client that you're talking about. So, you know, when you're talking about young mums with little babies, that was a long time ago for me. So obviously as women get older, it gets harder, to shift the weight. But hearing someone at that age being able to do that is fantastic. So yeah, I'm there. That's me. So sign me up.
Honestly, it's a very impactful, it changes so much in your life. And like I said before, you won't know until you do it. But even just after 1 week of being consistent, just 3 workouts, and eating healthier, you're like, gosh, why have I not been doing this before? Like, what could have my life have been like had I done this so many years ago? And that's something I hear from women all the time. But at least that's something they start then, and things get better. But yeah, I've helped marriages and everything. I feel like a counselor at some points,
But it makes sense, because if you don't feel good in yourself, that's going to have that ripple effect. It's going to have ripple effect in your relationship. It's going to have ripple even with your relationship with your children. Because if you don't have that energy, and obviously having stamina, to be able to do your job, to have that life balance as well. I think it's, it makes so much sense. I think one of the biggest fears probably, and I'm sure this must be what a lot of women say to you, is when it comes to doing weights, is the fear of bulking up and looking kind of very manly, so I'm sure a lot of women must say that to you.
I am so glad you've said this. And you know what? I actually need to do, it's a great idea for a reel on Instagram. So I'm going to make that next time I film. But yeah, like the amount of women that say to me, oh no, I don't want to train weights because I don't want to get bigger. You can't physically get bigger if your calories are in a deficit. So kind of let me go back and explain all of this. There's a calorie deficit, which is eating less calories than you burn off in a day. And there's calorie maintenance, which is eating more calories than you burn off. So for example, if you burn off 2,000 calories a day, but you're only consuming 1,500, you cannot get bigger. Whether you gain weight or lose weight doesn't come down to the gym. It comes down to your food, your nutrition, the amount of calories that you take in. The gym just helps speed up the process. If you were weight training 7 days a week, but you're eating 500 calories less than what you're burning off a day, you will never, ever get bigger. If you are weight training, but you're eating more calories than you burn off, that's when you're going to bulk up. So it really comes down to the nutrition. And, you could go to the gym 7 days a week, but eat more calories and never lose weight. Like it's not about the gym. It just speeds up the process. So say, for example, you were solely eating in a calorie deficit, you weren't exercising, you would lose weight. But going to the gym is like an added extra. You're just going to do it quicker. Not only are you going to do it quicker, your mental health, your physical health, your mobility and everything else that comes with going to the gym. But whether you lose or gain comes down to the amount of calories that you consume in a day. It has absolutely nothing to do with weight training. So that is a big misconception that everybody has. And I just wish that more women knew about that, because it's got nothing to do with weight training.
I had a really good expression. This is many years ago. And it was, you can't exercise your way out of a bad diet.
Absolutely not.
And I remember I just heard that on the radio one. This is like probably 20 years ago. And I was like, oh yeah. So and I always heard it's like an 80-20 rule. It's like 80% of your shape and your weight and everything is what you eat. 20% is the exercise. So that is that sort of piece that will accelerate it.
Yeah, I think mindful eating plays a big role with the weight loss goals. I'm guessing, because it's you need to be mindful of what you put in your body.
Exactly. And like you just said, you can't out-train a bad diet. And, you really need to be looking at it. It's so basic and so easy, but people complicate it. All you need to do is eat less calories than you burn off in a day. Now, what's the complicated part is figuring out those figures. For me, it's very easy. I can do that very quick within 2 minutes for somebody. But when you don't know that industry, that's the hard part to work out, and how to know how to track it. But it literally comes down to calorie intake needs to be less than what you're burning off. Input less than output, and that is it. And just going back to, what you were saying then about taking in, the mindful eating. One point I really want to make here is, I say this to mums all the time. You are what your child is going to become. If you like camping, your kids are going to like camping. If you like traveling, your kids are going to like traveling. If you like sitting in front of the TV every single night, your kids are going to do that. If you eat McDonald's every single day, your kids are going to do that, because you are their role model and they don't learn from anyone else but you. You're in their life every single day. If you want a healthy life for your kids and you want your kids to grow up being healthy, being happy, being confident, you need to be the person that's going to show them that. It has to start with you. Think about, and I say, like, you know, as a mom, sit back and think, right, am I happy in my own body? Do I feel confident? Am I doing the best that I could do every day? Most people are going to answer no.
No.
Then you say, well, what do I want for my child? Because whatever you're doing, do you want your kid to be the same way as you when they're your age? Most likely not, because a lot of women aren't happy in their own skin. It's horrible to say, but it's the truth. They're not. So if you want your child to feel the same as you, keep doing what you're doing. And if you don't, if you want a different life for them, it has to start with you. You've got to show them the right habits, you know, show them how it feels to be happy and confident and get in your swimwear and go and eat healthy and get up at 6 a.m. and go for a run, or, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be that. It's what makes you happy. But, you know, there's got to be things that you have to show your children. And another thing off that is, what age do you want to be in the hospital having your kids look after you at the side of your hospital bed? Because if you keep living an unhealthy life, that's going to happen. Most of my family have health-related issues. Most of my family have, I wouldn't say never been to the gym, but not really been to the gym. I'm probably one of the first people. So, you know, I see it in them is like, do you want your kid at the age of a teenager at the side of your hospital bed having to look after you because you didn't look after you?
Yeah,
That's so
true. You can't do the same thing and expect different results, right? It's that simple. And we know these things. We adults, we know these things. It's sometimes mind-blowing. Now, Kim, many people struggle with consistency when it comes to fitness. What are some of the tips that you can share in terms of staying motivated and on track, whether it's just jogging in the morning, whatever it is that you say, what makes you happy? What tips can you share?
So consistency is difficult. Motivation is difficult. It's not easy. I will be straight. It's not. I'm not motivated to go to the gym every single day. I don't want to go tomorrow, to be honest with you, but I'll be there because I know how it makes me feel. So I think like the one of the first things is remember how you feel when you leave. That is the biggest thing. But everybody has different ways to keep them consistent and motivated. Find a sport that you love. I've recently got into boxing. I'm bored of weight training at the minute. Honestly, I've been doing it for years and years, and simply I'm just bored. So I thought, you know what? Let me find a new hobby. I've got into boxing and I've got into playing paddle, and I'm like obsessed. I'm like a kid at a candy shop again. I'm like loving it, you know?
Paddle definitely seems to be addictive.
Oh, well, no, boxing's more addictive for me.
Oh, is it?
God, I'm loving it. I get all my anger out. I'm dripping in sweat. I love it. So find what makes you happy. A lot of women love swimming. Now, I hate swimming. I can't relate to that. A lot of women love swimming, especially when they've got kids and they're taking them. Find something that makes you happy, first of all. Not everything's going to make you happy. It doesn't make me happy, but you still have to do it because you've got to remember your goals every single day. Book it into your calendar. The biggest thing I could say to keep you on track, use it as it's an appointment. I book it in my calendar every single day. You could go on there now and see steps at this time, boxing, paddle, weight training. I've got it all in there. I have to be there at that time doing it, you know. So the biggest thing is put it in your diary. It's a non-negotiable if you want a healthy lifestyle for you and your family. Book it into your diary. Put something on your screensaver. You know, like not long ago, a couple of months ago, I made one of my clients take a photo in a dress that she was going to a work party. She wanted a specific dress for this work party. She wanted to feel amazing. She took a photo, screenshot, put it on her screensaver so that she knew every day that she had to get in that dress.
Affirmation.
Yeah. And she got in it. She felt amazing. Or it might be a wedding dress. It might be a bridesmaid dress. You know, put something on there. Another great tip, I have some Post-it notes. So I used to, on that door right there, actually, I put up every month. I used to put 1 to 30 or 1 to 28 or 1 to 31, however many days were in that month. And I would write the days that I wanted to go to the gym or how many times a week, and I'd pull the Post-it note off every day. That was my staying on track. You know, whether it's hitting your calories, whether it's hitting your calories, it might be drinking so much water a day, it might be going to the gym so many times a week. You find your motivation and use that as like, you know, that's what's going to keep you on track. One big thing I want to say, if you have planned to go to the gym 4 times that week, but you only made it 2, don't beat yourself up. We're all human. It is something, sometimes we can't make it every single week. That's just life. Life happens. Life throws things at us all the time, especially mums. Something could happen with the kids. You might end up at the school. You've got to pick them up. They're not well. You go to hospital. Something, they fell down, or you know, anything can happen. Do not.
I think you just described my week.
No, oh gosh.
Even though I don't have babies. I have one teenager with me, and today was in the doctors with a broken toe and all this kind of, and that was my whole day was gone. That was it. But I'm very proud of myself. I still did a 40-minute swim. This evening,
amazing!
So, yeah.
There you go. Amazing. Yeah, I think that is a big one. It's like a lot of my clients, they do beat themselves up like, oh my God, I didn't manage everything. So just make sure you manage it all the following week, or move them workouts into the following week, or just go for a walk instead, or just don't beat yourself up. Yeah, it's great to, you know, to try and focus on being as consistent as you can most of the time. But if things happen, that's just life. You know, this isn't something that you're only going to do for 6 months of your life. You should be doing this for the next 60 years of your life, not 6 months. So you're not going to be consistent every week. Nobody is. I'm not.
Yeah, so what I've actually done for myself when I started gymming now, it's only been 14 days. I'm very proud of myself. But with the days that I don't get to the gym for whatever reason, I actually go back to take notes of why I couldn't attend. And if it was something that was still in my control, I'm at fault.
I like it.
And I must say, I have changed quite a bit. Sara knows this very well. I couldn't eat. I struggled to eat. I couldn't, I got a thing for chewing. I couldn't do it. And then as I started doing the gym, my appetite got better. I wanted to eat. It's as you say, so many things change in your life when you just started feeling healthy and doing healthy habits. But that's what I'm doing is if I go through my diary and I see, I didn't gym, but why? And if it's something that I could actually control, then I'm at fault. If there's something that I couldn't control, then it's okay. Breathe. Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, honestly, I think that's great. And I think that's something that I'm probably going to tell to my clients. But, you know, one of the big benefits of me doing online coaching, again, working with mums, I keep saying this, God, there's so many reasons, isn't there? But the great thing with mums is I used to be a personal trainer. When you're a personal trainer, that client is restricted to the days and the hours that they book in. They're pre-booked. They're the same every single week. They have to show up. If they don't show up, they either lose the session, you know, or I lose my time, or, you know, they've lost the money. With this being online, I create a program. You know, I sit down with the mums and I say, right, tell me your schedule. Let's see how many times you can work out. Let's see how much time you've got. Let's see what location you're going to do it from, X, Y, and Z. You know, it's a personalized program to them. If I put them on, I don't know, 4 sessions a week, and it's 7 days, and we plan for them to do a workout on a Tuesday, but they can't do a Tuesday because something came up, because life happened, they just do it on the Wednesday instead. It's a pre-made program. It's not live with me. It works wonders for mums because they know that they are not set to specific days and times every week. So I think, you know, if you're someone listening that you're in the same situation where you can't do set days and times every week, that doesn't work for your schedule, that's fine. Just know that, okay, plan it in your diary. If you don't make it one day, just do it the next day. You know, it doesn't matter when you do it, as long as you're doing something. So I think that's a big thing for me doing online. It just works for so many people because they know that they're not missing a session. They're not losing out on the money. They just do it the following day, or they put it in the next week. Simple.
I think that's so important. I think that's, you know, it's the beauty of online, isn't it? You know, it does give people that flexibility. Yeah, I think, I love sayings, and just coming back to that thing of don't beat yourself up. I think it's the risk of wanting to be a perfectionist, isn't it? It's like, right, I'm only going to start when I have all that time ahead of me and everything's planned and I'm absolutely ready. And then, of course, people don't do it. So, one of the sayings I love is progress, not perfectionism.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very all or nothing person, so it's very difficult for me sometimes. I'm like, I mean, I never would do nothing, but if I've been to the gym twice, that's like, oh my God, I've done nothing. Sometimes I'm like that, it's hard to get out of. But yeah, what was the point you just made? I was just going to say something then before you said progress.
Just about perfectionism and just being kind of, everything's got to be, all your ducks have to be in a row. And it's like, no, you just need one duck.
Yeah, no, you just said something. Oh my God, I was just going to make a great point on it, and it's just gone clear out of my mind.
Let's hope it jumps in. But I do think, done is better than perfect. You will get you will get that body that you say that's perfect for you. But done is better than just, as you say, Sara. No, it needs to be this and this. The OCD that kicks in. I think most people do have that. But it's, just get it done. Just get it done. Kim, regarding quick workouts, what would you share with us in terms of what an effective quick workout routine looks like, especially being at home? If you can share with us something like that, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I mean, HIIT workouts always. If you don't know what HIIT stands for, it's high intensity interval training. Most people actually want to lose weight. In order to lose weight, you need to be burning a lot of calories. So you need to be thinking of things that are going to get your heart rate high safely, of course. So don't be absolutely killing yourself.
Adding that in there.
So the higher your heart rate, the more calories you're going to burn. So the more calories you burn, the quicker you're going to lose weight. So I'll say this because so many women come to me and say, okay, I want to lose my stomach, so I need to do abs. I don't put abs really in barely any of my clients' programs. 2 reasons. So many exercises work your abs, your abdominals so much you don't realize. Mm-hmm. Abs comes from, you need to focus on abs to get balance, and a lot of women can struggle with balance, especially after having kids and during birth and stuff like that as well, during being pregnant, sorry. But a lot of exercises work your abs and you don't even realize it. Mm-hmm. That's number one, why I wouldn't put abs in a client's program. Number 2, if you was to set your Apple Watch on core training, I'm telling you now, you could spend 10 minutes and literally burn about 10 calories. That was a waste of your time. Training abs burns little to no calories. Yeah, okay, it'll give you great core strength, but if you've got loads of body fat covering it, what the hell was the point in that? You spent 10 minutes burning no calories, just getting strong abs, but you can't see them. What is the point? So if you're going to do any training at home, I would say full body workout. Mix it between weights and cardio. So when I say cardio, I mean body weight exercises where you don't use any weights. It's just your own body weight. So it could be star jumps, it could be high knees, it could be squats, it could be lunges, press ups or push ups, if whatever you like to call them. Could be things like that. And then mixing it with weight training. So buying, like I say, a set of dumbbells off Amazon and mixing the 2 up. So there's so many circuits. I've got some free guides with free circuits. If anybody wants them, drop me a message over. I can send those over. I've got loads of free circuits on there. But mixing weights with cardio to get stronger, to lose body fat, focusing on getting the heart rate high, giving yourself breaks, doing it in a safely manner. Obviously, your own body. But yeah, try to do things that are genuinely going to challenge you. If it's easy, it's probably not working. If you're dying, you're out of breath, you're sweating, it's probably working. So, common sense, we've all got it.
Yeah, I always say people walk out the gym and they look like they're going for a photo shoot. I'm like, why were you even here?
Yeah.
If you're not sweating,
look in the mirror, isn't it? It's like a lot of posing going on.
When I'm done with the gym, I look terrible.
You need
I just like, who is this person? But at the end of the day, I actually don't care because I feel good.
Exactly. I'm literally as pink as this top. I'm not kidding you, right? My face from here to here looks like someone said something really embarrassing in front of a million people and I've gone bright red, right? That's what I look like. I am dripping. My hair's wet here. My hair's wet here. And like people look at me like, you just did a workout. And I'm like, yeah, no. And I feel great. And what? I do not care. But the women that go to my gym, they look pretty and great for them, but I look like a drowned rat.
Well, that's real, isn't it? That's reality. As you said, if you're actually gonna, push up your heart rate, then your body's gonna have that impact. And it feels good. It feels good when you've finished.
It does.
If
I leave and my hair looks like this still, I just know I haven't worked hard enough. That was like a hangover day or something.
It's so, I love that. I just love your passion. It's really, you can see this is, I agree 1000% with your mom. I've known you for a little while longer than Sara has done, Kim, but I do believe that you're never going to leave this industry. And I'm excited to see where you're going next year. I do think there's a lot happening in your world. And one thing I want to say here as well is that it's quite interesting how your body just knows that you were naughty, in the sense of you had a burger and you maybe had a G&T with your friends, and then the next day you go to the gym. Oh, your body is telling you you've been naughty because the sweat is different, the feeling is different.
Yeah, 1 million%.
Is that something that your clients experience, or even yourself? I don't know.
Yeah, God, yes. Like I'm not an angel. I am not an angel. I'll tell you that. The thing with me is I have worked so hard for so many years that I have a very great balance now. I'll be honest with you. I had sweets and chocolate and a big bowl of pasta and everything last night with loads of cheese and everything. But I work so hard in the gym that I can afford those things now. I tell all my clients they need balance. I'm not going to tell them to cut every single thing out of their nutrition and stop drinking on the weekends if that's what you like, and stop eating chocolate if that's what you like, because within 2 weeks they'll give up and they'll rebel and they'll go against everything I say. It's about balance. It's just knowing not to go overboard, when to cut it back, when you can have it. And obviously that's something I teach to each individual at that time. Everybody's different. But yeah, I mean, like, you do, once you're in that fitness routine and you do have something bad, you feel it massively. And I got back from the summer and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get in the gym. I just want to eat loads of protein and be clean and have gallons of water. Like, I just wanted to feel good again, because I didn't by the time the summer was over. And you do start to realize that. But, don't be restrictive. I've got, just to mention, I've got a client on at the moment, and she is a pregnant lady, as I'm pre and postnatal qualified. So I do train pregnant women, and she's started having cravings. And she's like, Kim, I shouldn't have these cravings, should I? I said, have the craving. Whatever you want, you're pregnant, your hormones are all over the place, you are smashing your workouts every single week, you consistently go to the gym, you're doing your cardio, you've barely gained any weight, like she's holding no water or anything, you can see she looks exactly the same as she did before, but with a belly bump. She looks amazing. I was like, if you want your craving, have it. Stop being so hard on yourself. You're pregnant. So it's about knowing that balance, and it in yourself. If you're having chocolate every day, you shouldn't be having it. But if you don't have it for a whole week, you can have it for one day. It's not going to kill you. I could go on and on, girls.
So just explain a bit about how you work then. So you've obviously got some pre-recorded programs that people can work through, but then obviously they can work with you one-to-one as well. So what else? What's your sort of general sort of ways of working with people?
So basically, majority of the things that I do is one-to-one coaching. The reason I do that is because everybody starts at a different place. Everybody's got a different lifestyle. They need something different. It's not like with me, it's not a one size fits all. Now, if people genuinely can't afford a one-to-one coaching and it is affordable, I think for majority of people, I haven't overpriced it or anything, because I want the most amount of people to be able to do it. But if they genuinely can't, then I do have a program that is like a one size fits all. But generally, my one-to-one coaching, it's really designed to the client. What's your lifestyle? Are you working? Are you not? When are you free? When are you not free? Have you got an apartment gym? Do you want to work out from home? Do you like walking? You know, how old are your kids? You know, what activities do you like to do with them? It's based on everything. So when they join, I personalize a program for them. So whether that's 2 sessions a week, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever they can do, whatever cardio they can do, X, Y, and Z. Obviously in the summer, I don't make people walk outdoors in the UAE. In the winter, they do, you know, so it really comes down to everything. When they join the New You movement, which is our company name, they would get their own account on the app that I have, and it would have their program, it would have their meal plan, which again is completely designed to them, how many meals a day they like to have, their preferences, what them and their husband like to eat in the evening, you know, completely personalized. So they get their program, they get their meal plan. We do a weekly check-in at the end of every single week to see, you know, what they've lost, their measurements, their weight, their photos, how they're feeling. More so, you know, are they enjoying it? If not, let's change it. So it really is a completely tailored service. And I communicate with my clients every single day. Sometimes they might hate me, but I'm on their case to make sure that they're doing it. Not only are they doing it, but so they've got questions answered and they just feel like they have me just in their pocket. I'm like a pocket PT, basically. I'm just not there with
like
you.
it.
I like that. Pocket
I like
PT.
that.
That's what I am.
That sounds amazing. And
Yes.
do you work with groups then as well? Or is it always just one-to-one? It's just like
It's always one-to-one. Sometimes I do have couples that join, so husband and wife and stuff, and they might be on a little bit of the same meal plan, probably a little bit of a different program. Obviously, the man wants to work more upper body, the woman wants to work more lower body, but it's not really a group thing. You know, I've got like set programs, things need to pick and change. Also, for people that have got injuries, I have a lot of women, can't do this because of my back, can't do this because of my knees. So all of that gets...
Literally, as you were talking, I was thinking, okay, well, jogging's not going to happen for me anymore. Like that.
I mean, honestly, like not many of my clients do jogging. Not a lot of people like it. I'm not going to put something in somebody's program that they don't like, because it simply just won't do it.
I like it, but it doesn't like me.
That's very unfortunate. But yeah, it's really down to the client. It really is.
That's great to hear. Yeah, so it's so individualized, but obviously, I think that's fantastic. So, how long have you had the app then? Is this a new part of your kind of service?
So I have had this for, I want to say, about 2 years. 2 years. I've got 2 separate apps. So I've got like a one-to-one coaching app, which is where I can personalize the program, and the other app, which is like a one size fits all, which is literally you just sign up to the program on the app and everybody gets the same thing. So it just means that I can still reach everybody, even if they can't afford the one-to-one coaching. I can still reach them, but they just, they do have a one size fits all, which doesn't necessarily work for a lot of people. But I mean, some women come to me and they're like, do you know what? I don't need accountability. I absolutely love going to the gym. I just need the workouts.
Yeah,
great.
Just to know what to do.
There's the app for you.
I'm definitely one of those women that walks into a gym and goes, seriously, where do I start? And I end up just doing the treadmill, and it's like, that's really boring. Or just maybe the rowing machine, and you're thinking, okay, this is, and I see all the free weight machines, all the weights, and you're thinking, yeah, be good to know what to do there. So that sounds amazing that you give people that those instructions.
I think a lot of women, they're the same. They're like, I don't even know where to start. So just having somebody there to do all the hard work for them, the thinking power, and go, right, you're going to do this, and they go, right, I know I've got to go and do that now. I know I've got to go to that machine. I've got to pick up these dumbbells. But again, I try to not, especially in the start of a client's program, I really try to not use a lot of machines. I just try to get them comfortable with barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells in maybe one area of the gym. Let's just get used to going to the gym at this point. Unless a client comes to me and says, oh, I love going to the gym. Oh, great, I can do everything. You know, again, it depends what the client's at.
It's so individually done, and I think that also makes you stand out with what you do, and the fact that you only work with women. It's I am one of your fans. I really love what you do. I can't wait for your reels or anything that you post. I just want to see, where's Kim doing, what's she doing, and then of course here and there Simba post, because we all know Simba the cat. It's really remarkable to see your journey, and
people can I just say, people love Simba more than they love me at this point.
It's the way with animals, isn't it? It's funny how the pets have the pets are more followers.
I mean, I think it's because of where he's come from and how far he's come, but people literally will message me on a daily basis saying, how's Simba doing? I've not seen him on your story for a while. And I'm like, excuse me, how am I doing?
I get that, because as you say, he's got a journey, and you two have got such a good relationship as well. So it's really beautiful to see, and I think the same, and that's just my perspective from what I can see with you as well, is that's how you are with your clients. You get so attached that they become more than just a client; they kind of family. That's just what I see between you and Simba and your clients. That's what I see.
I'm glad that comes across. I appreciate that.
Well, definitely your passion and your enthusiasm is infectious, and it's just been great to talk to you. And I can't believe we're nearly up at the hour. So before we finish off, tell our audience, where can they find you?
So the best place to contact me would be on my Instagram. It's at Kim Weston Fit. Weston spelled Weston, like it is at the bottom of this. All inquiries come through there. Honestly, that is like the biggest platform I have. If anyone's interested in any of my free guides, one-to-one coaching, the fitness app, generally just some questions answering, anything at all, that is the best place to get me. And you will get a response within 24 hours or 48 hours. Let's say if it's a new person, it goes to my message requests. Once you're in there, you'll get a 24-hour reply. But yeah, that's the best place.
It's been absolutely amazing having you here. I hope that everybody who's listening and who might be listening afterwards really enjoyed this podcast. I know I have. I've learned so much, and I think Sara's like, I can do 4 weeks.
I'm going, come on, let's do it. Let's do a Women Wise challenge. I think we need to do
28-day Women Wise challenge with Pocket PT Kim Weston. If not, why not, right? But it's all about
thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's been great to share this information, and I hope I've just maybe inspired others out there, maybe even you too, and just given as much information as I can. I think that's, I don't want to complicate anything. It's really basic. But yeah, anyone has any questions, you know where to reach me.
It's been
I love it. It's all about small steps leading to big changes, right? So keep moving, keep inspiring. That's it. One step at a time, and keep shining. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us. Sara, anything from your side before we end up?
Just thank you so much, Kim. It's been really I feel quite enthused. I think I think I already started on the sort of the 30-30 challenge, but I was literally thinking I know I need to be doing more, and probably something a little bit more targeted. So it's been fantastic. And Janine, as always, it's great to co-host with you. The enthusiasm from you is always great too. And to our audience, thank you so much for watching and following us. And of course, if you'd like to help us out, you can always buy us a coffee. So the link will be underneath the video, and help us to take this podcast to another level.
That would be amazing. Absolutely. Join our community and tell your story. Until next time, be kind to yourself.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.